famous kasha of Beth Yosef on Hanukkah. Why is Hanukkah 8 days? Connected the nest that took 8 days. It was enough shemen for 1 day. Comes out that the first night there was no nest whatsoever. And we make a brocha also nisim every single day. The Gemara says, B'chol yoma israchish niso. Every day there was a special nest. And that nest we make a special brocha. Also nisim. What is the nest the first day? Beth Yosef answers, Al-Kochoch, they took the pach shemen and they divided into 8 days. They knew that for 8 days they would not be able to get shemen. And every day they put 1/8 of the pach shemen. After became the first day it lit the entire night. So the first day they saw a nes. Another question the Astrovtza asks, Hanukkah is 8 days, has to be one of the days, Shabboth. If you want to be madlik the ner on Shabboth, you have to make sure that the ner has to have the full shiur. If you don't put the full shiur, it's not a mitzvah and it's an avero. You would madlik sheloi letzorech mitzvah on Shabboth. What was the heter of the hashmonoim to be madlik the ner on Shabboth? When they put in the ner the shiur shemen pochos mikeshiur. If it's pochos mikeshiur, it cannot be madlik on Shabboth. Shabboth is only nitche if you make the mitzvah like it's supposed to be. The shiur is chatzi log, but pochos mikeshiur you cannot be yoytze. And the chatzi log is for each one of the neres. Chatzi log is 3 eggs, and they found only 21 eggs amount of shemen. That's enough for 1 day, which is 3.5 log. But if you only have 1/8 of the shiur, you are not allowed to be madlik that on Shabboth. If somebody is madlik on Shabboth, pochos mikeshiur is chilul Shabboth. The whole milchoma was to restore Shabboth, Mido, and Chodesh. Cannot say that the hashmonoim were over on chilul Shabboth with the mitzvahs adlokos haner shelo kedin. Therefore the Astrovtza wants to say a moedik chidush gadol. Al pi cheshbon he says the first day of Hanukkah fell on Shabboth. Al pi cheshbon from the Molodos, the Shnas Gimel Alofim Tarchov Beis, that's the year of Hanukkah, it was on Shabboth. Chov Hei Bekisle fell on Shabboth. That was the first night of Hanukkah. And the Gemara says Menochos, how do you test the shiur of the menorah? There is no halacha l'Moshe Misinai how many eggs worth of shemen you're supposed to put in the menorah. But Chazal will beshair that it's 21 eggs. 3 eggs for each one of the neros. The Torah says me'erev ad boker. The shiur is how long it takes to burn for 1 whole night. Lelos arukos shebeteves. The long nights, the longest of the nights is in the kupas teves. How did they find out what's a shiur? Test it until they came out with the right shiur. How did they test it? Some say they started with a big shiur and went down until they found the right shiur, and some say they started with the smallest shiur and they went to the upper shiur. That's called mimato lemalo or mimalo lemato. So he wants to say loy demand the omer that they started mimato lemalo, which means you are allowed to test by putting it a little bit, and if you need more you could be mosif, put extra shemen until you have enough shemen for the entire night. Since the first night they had enough shemen for a whole night and they were hoping for a nes, they put first 1/8 of the amount of shemen. If there's no nes, they're going to put the rest of the shemen. They were hoping for a nes, and it happened a nes. The next night they put a shmini again, the second 1/8. The third night the third 1/8. And the fourth night the fourth 1/8. And so on and so forth. Everything is nice and dandy, but the problem is what you do the last night of Hanukkah, which was also on Shabboth. If the first day is Shabboth, the last night is Shabboth. And the last night they only had a shminis, an 1/8. And according to what you just said, we are not allowed to put only a shminis if you have no other shemen whatsoever. We can say a ותירץ. The Shas at Chag, we have nothing else, you can put shemen tomer, shetumo, hutro, vetzibur. So actually they had enough shemen, but they were hoping for a nes, it became a nes. But that's not a good answer according to the Pnei Yehoshua. The Pnei Yehoshua says by a chinuch ha-menorah, but the chinuch ha-migdosh, you do not say tumo, hutro, vetzibur. And over here was Chanukas ha-mizbeach, Chanukas ha-migdosh. So you cannot say tumo, hutro, vetzibur, unless you say that the chinuch was already with the first night, or the first 7 days. But there's a simple teretz from the chinuch l'raise, like the Gemara says, Masechta Shabbos, Daf Samech Aleph Amud Aleph. Person that wants to carry in the street a kemeya, an amulet on Shabbos, he has a problem of chilul Shabbos. The Gemara says you may not carry this kemeya unless this kemeya is kemeya mumha. Then you're allowed to use it. If it's 100% kosher kemeya, you're allowed to use it. You know for sure it's going to hail somebody, you're allowed to use it. How do you know that the kemeya is kemeya shel mumha? That this kemeya was made up with 3 people, it has a chazoko. If a kemeya was used 3 times for 3 people and that help for them, then you're allowed to carry in Rishus HaRabim. And it's not considered Chilul Shabbos. The same thing is with Adlokas Haneros. How do you know it's going to be a Nes? In Yom HaShmini you're going to put only the Shmin is the eighth of the shemen, of the shiur. That's 3/4 of one egg. You need 3 eggs. The answer is that this is a Kamea Shel Mumche. It worked already from this Pach Shemen 7 nights, and it worked. So you don't have to be Choshesh. Not worth an Kamea Mumche. So they were able to put a Shminis of the Shir even the last night Shabbos, and there was no Hashash of Chilul Shabbos whatsoever. It was a Cheskas Nes. Now the question is, can a person put on his menorah from Chanukah less than the Shiur, and he sees, if it's going to be a Nes, he was Yotzi with a Pochos Mekeshir, Mitamashu. If there is no Nes, he's going to be Mosif until you have the Shiur of Chotzi Sho'o, half an hour. The Shulchan Aruch in Siman Tov Reish Ein Hey Sif Beis says, Hadloko is a mitzvah, you may not put Pochos Mikeshir but the brocho, you must put a full shiur, and you cannot be mosif afterwards. If you put less than the shiur, you have to put out the ner, and make again the brocho. With a full shiur. So the Mikol Chaim asks the kasha, what's the difference between Chanukah and the menorah in the Beis HaMikdash? Now they tested the menorah mimato lemalo. By being mosif, comes out if they didn't have enough, they were not yotze the mitzvah. There's a simple answer that when the Gemara says in Menochos, Daf Peitez Medalef Begematri Chanukah, that they tested mimato lemalo, it was not in the menorah from the Beis HaMikdash. It was in a different menorah. But in the menorah from the Beis HaMikdash, they put extra shemen. Then there's no stira between Chanukah and the menorah. The Mikol Chaim wants to say that you don't say Hadloko is a mitzvah by the Beis HaMikdash, and by Chanukah you do say Hadloko is a mitzvah, and you cannot compare one to another.